Welcome in everybody to the TK Pod. My name is Tyler Kluver. I was once a Division 1 football player. I am now a podcaster, fitness coach, and CrossFit athlete, doing all of that as a husband and father of two. This show is an audio journal, a spot for me to vent or ramble about thoughts I have relating to fitness and health, my personal competitive aspirations, business, entrepreneurship, and more. I hope that each show can provide one small bit of value for you, the listener. Regardless, I'm glad you're here. Let's have a day. Let's go. Monday, August 25th. That's correct. Monday. Are we back to the Monday recording schedule? Maybe. We'll see. We'll dabble. We're back to the fall season. Football has officially begun. I'm going to imagine that anyone who's listening to this show by proxy of the Washed Up Walk-Ons, as you can see behind me, the main stuff that I do, is probably also a football fan. If there's somebody listening to this that isn't a football fan, contact me. I'd love to know who you are and why you listen. Because of it being football season, it means that my year gets busier. My life, my professional life, at least, if you can call it that. And that is because it's the busy season. It's the content season around all the stuff we do with the walk-ons. So that's exciting. We'll talk about that in a second. It also means things get shifted around. I like to keep here. I'll give you a short outlook, a quick gist of how I like to schedule my week. Friday is for anything not emergency, but like last resort, stuff that is not immediately relevant or urgent for that specific week, and I can just get ahead on it. Stuff that is farther out of my control, per se, like a call with someone who only has time on Friday, something of that nature. Something I have to go do that isn't necessarily super urgent. I can kind of put on Friday. That's my open day. Likely, at some point, well, I don't know. There is a chance, maybe not, that I will be going back to the gym. I'll definitely go back to the gym here, at least in the new year, January, February, as the open gets closer, as far as fitness is concerned. But the last couple years, my routine has been on Fridays, take the kids to daycare and hit the gym. Go to the gym, get my workout in, my training at the gym. That's 15 minutes away. That was my one day a week that I'd go into the gym. Haven't been doing that. Lots of reasons. Summer, no competitive goals, all that stuff. But usually I would go do that. That would take till 9:30 or 10 o'clock. I'd come home, sit for a second. I'd make lunch, eat lunch at 11, hang out. What a fucking privilege that is. Yeah, it is. I like to build my Friday into a pseudo weekend day. And this is becoming a not short gist of how I build my week, but it'll go faster after Friday. It's a pseudo weekend day because Saturday is football day. Yes, that is a weekend day. It is very much so. 95% we're off work. However, for 3 to 4 this year, potentially 5 hours, I sort of have to key in and be pretty involved mentally so that I can consume and sort of process as much information around the Iowa football games as possible, not just as a fan and enjoying it, but so that I can then create content on it for the next week. And that is a job. There is a work aspect of that. It dampens the experience just a little bit. It's still great. And then this year there's potential that I'm doing a post-game show as well in some format. So there's some work there. And then on Sunday nights, we'll do an hour live stream, maybe a little longer, and I'll post-produce that. and put that up for the next day, and that's 2 hours of work on a Sunday night. So, in a way, on the weekends, I'm sort of having a work day, 5, 4, 5, 6 hours of work on the weekends, kind of. Again, loose word work there. So I like to make Friday sort of the counter to that because I can, right? So Monday through Thursday is when I get most of my work done. Now, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is where I like to place 90% of that work, and that's going to be podcast related stuff. The podcast stuff is basically over by Thursday morning. We've recorded and produced everything for that week. This year being year number 2, that we will do 5 podcasts a week, essentially 1 per day. They don't come out. There will be a day during the week, I believe Tuesday, where 2 of those come out on the same day. Friday will not feature a new podcast, but essentially it averages out to one per weekday. We're basically doing a daily show. It's like a radio show. That's 5 podcasts, including this year a spot on weekly radio on Friday mornings for myself, and again, that potential post-game spot, which is another show. All on top of that, we put this TK pod in there. There's a lot of time I'm on camera, I'm on the microphone, I'm talking. We like to space all that out along with the other stuff that we're doing for the company and the other stuff that I do. So, 7 minutes into the show, all of that to say, potentially that's why these could be recorded on Mondays and then released 2 days later on Wednesdays. I like releasing them in the middle of the week. We might, who knows? Maybe we go to Monday at some point, but I like the Wednesday buffer of like, oh, if we can't get it done on Monday or Tuesday, we still have time somewhere in there Wednesday to get it done and release it. Because this is not the most important thing. It's sort of the afterthought. So that is why we might have our Monday recording schedule for the TK pod and sort of what my life looks like starting today for the podcasting life that I live. It's exciting stuff. I'm happy about it. Last week, really, this past 7 days, if you look at the numbers, is really when our stuff has kicked off. We are at full numbers. Um, really fun stuff. Not peak numbers for our show lifetime, but I think we are already on track to grow over last year. 2021 was our best year ever when they were undefeated, top in the country, tons of momentum around the program. Fox Big Noon Kickoff came to town, all this good stuff. Big Ten championship year. And we're on pace to maybe be at our best numbers yet since that year. So very exciting stuff. Lots of work goes into that. It gets busier. I'm recording Sunday night, this on Monday, Tuesday in the morning, 2 shows Tuesday in the morning, Wednesday in the morning, Wednesday in the evening. So, um, 6 podcasts in essentially a 3-day, 72-hour window. It's fun. It's exciting. Never thought this is what I would be doing. Very blessed to start our, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, starting year number 8 as a podcaster. So it's awesome stuff. August 25th today as well, the start technically of school. The school year kicks off this morning on the way to daycare is our first busy day. You've got more traffic out there. The buses are rolling. I live, within a mile of like 3 or 4 different schools at different levels, age levels. So, there's buses going everywhere. Kids are walking, they're on their bikes. You can feel it, right? Not to mention, somehow the weather came around and decided it's been hot as shit for 3 months, it feels like, just blazing people in the high 80s, 90s, 100-degree feels like temps. And then today you wake up after the first opening week 0 of football, Iowa State and Kansas State over in Ireland, a few other games this past weekend. It's the first full game week for everybody. and Monday morning, it's a crisp 49 fucking degrees. Are you kidding me? It's like the weather knew, dude. Unreal. Almost a little too cold for the first week. You'd prefer it be like the 60s, like low 60s. 49's a little chilly. Where's that global warming at? Kin Diesel has already been going to school. It's going to feel like the exact same thing to her today. However, really this past couple months has been summer school, just the summer term. Not nearly as focused on like learning and stuff. It's more of like a summer camp daycare thing. In the twos room at the place that she goes, and this today officially starts her 2 year old year of school at this place, and it legitimately is structured like a school. Uh, you think about, for those that have kids, but like the places that you send your kids these days is insane. And usually the conversation is based around how much it costs for childcare. It is fucking crazy. But for what they're doing at this place with the curriculum that they have for a 2 year old class over the course of the year, I mean, we got the entire schedule up on the fridge, the stuff that they're learning about, the activities that they have going on. It's wild. And we took the first day of school pick that'll eventually, I'm sure, be in a book or a album or a slideshow someday at her graduation party. King girl looking cute as hell. Excited, got her pink skirt on. Uh, they grow up fast, man. They grow up fast. And Brooksy started daycare last week, so technically he's already been he started year one already. And we took him off to daycare as well. So everything's hot and heavy. Wife starts year 9 of teaching. Crazy. And I just hop on the microphone and keep talking like I'm actually starting another year of my job, which is I don't consider this at all. Um, so a lot of things happening. A lot of things happening near the end of August here. All of the I mean, some have already began, but all of the fitness side of things, the qualifiers, all of those are going to start happening September, definitely really in October. Um, of course, we talked about last week how we are not going to be doing the walkie competition. Um, I don't know if we had already confirmed that or not with Isaac before last week's podcast when I recorded it. Who knows? But he said he couldn't do it. I'm not going to seek another partner for it. Um, I was going to be pushing to be truly healthy for that and feeling really good. We're just going to let it go. Even though I'd like to do a local comp, especially one that's literally a mile down the road. Um, Injury wise, I talked about my neck last week. I feel okay. We feel okay. It still feels pretty sore. Today will be a barometer in the gym. We have some Olympic lifting, some jerks, which is what I injured it on, was a jerk dip. We have some snatching, so arms overhead positioning. Uh, if I decide to do it, we'll have some wall balls and some handstand push-ups. I probably will not do that. I just don't want to be, impacting my head and my neck at all right now. So maybe I'll do a different wall ball movement or piece. But a good day in the gym. We are feeling better. We haven't gone backwards. We've definitely improved, even though there is still a lot of soreness around it. So we'll continue to manage that. And again, right now, it's just simply about improving fitness as much as we possibly can. Feeling good, feeling like we can get our lungs back. I don't even care so much about the strength stuff right now. I know I'm strong as I've ever been. In fact, Saturday with this hurt neck thing, I put more weight on my back squatting wise for a true back squat workout than I have in God knows how long. I mean, I did a triple cluster at 375 and felt pretty good after, and that was set 5 of clusters. 350, 355, 360, 365, 375 is the final set. So legs are strong. Deadlift is strong. Again, we PR'd that this year. We PR'd the power clean this summer. We PR'd the snatch this summer. All of that feels good. Front squat is in a good spot, best spot it's ever been. The problem is, and has been, the lungs. Is I just haven't had the lungs, and a lot of that is I haven't been doing as much zone 2 cardio base building. I completely stopped that. The Peloton's over there in the other room right now, just like, hey, bitch, when are you going to use me? I haven't been used in weeks. I think I did like a 30-minute ride maybe a month ago at this point, and that's the only ride I've done all summer, basically since the kid was born, and the kid's 12 weeks old yesterday. So, I mean, it is what it is. We got to get back on that. That's definitely a part of building into this next season. We have to get the zone 2 stuff going again. It's not that I haven't been doing the zone 2 stuff. I've been doing it in running form, which is obviously harder. You throw on top of that the heat, the humidity, and me doing less volume, and it feels even worse. And that's sort of the mindset and ideas or mentality I've been talking with this summer is like, God damn, it is. I'm struggling. But as the heat has cooled off here a little bit, again, 49 degrees this morning. I Yesterday I did a road workout, interval style workout where I was able to hit my paces for the first time. Um, it was the last workout of week 2 of this mile program that I'm on. Um, Pretty simple workout, 800 meters at mile pace, straight into a 200-meter jog, straight into 200 meters at faster than mile pace, rest 2.5 minutes. Next set was 600 meters at mile pace, 200-meter jog, 200 meters faster than mile pace, rest 2.5 minutes. And then the same thing, just the working set was 400 meters at mile pace, 200 jog, 200 faster than mile pace. We were finally, for the first time, able to hit our paces. The day before that, on Saturday, we did a workout that was, what did I do that day? It was, hmm, 3 rounds of, gosh, I don't even remember. Saturday and Friday, the 2 days before that, I've done a couple workouts, short ones that are, um, short to medium range metcons, multiple CrossFit movements, very breathy, right? Um, and I've been able to churn out some scores, some performances that aren't complete dog shit. I am turning in some performances that your average human, even your average fitness person would probably look at and go, "That's a pretty good score." So there is life within me. All right, I'm not dead yet, which is exciting because for the last 3 months, it's basically felt like that. Um, the goals right now are still very much so build the base, just get back into the groove, feel good training, and feel confident about my ability over the next month as we near October and some of those qualifiers. Cause I know that the boys are going to hit me up. Hey, do you want to be on a team for Wadapalooza? Hey, do you want to be on a team for Fittest of the Coast? And I don't know what I'm doing as far as those down the line, but I want to at least have the opportunity to do the qualifier and put us in a spot where we might be able, like I might be able to go if it's in the cards. And of course that, just being fit is good to, continue and progress towards the open. And then the one specific goal is to I'm trying to run a sub 6-minute mile, which should not be that hard. But for a guy who's 5'10", 205 pounds, built like a fucking bag of potatoes, naturally has horrible running genetics, horrible conditioning genetics, a sub 6-minute mile, a mile time that starts with a 5, even if it's 5:59, is still pretty damn cool to me. So that's our current, like, very specific goal. I think we will get there in the next 8 weeks. We have 8 weeks on this mile program. And if we don't, we're going to significantly improve that mile time. And then we can run another program and just get a little better. We'll just extend it until I run a fucking sub 5-minute mile or sub 6-minute mile. I'm never running sub 5. So that's where we're at. Um, and then the fun stuff is coming this Friday for anyone that's interested. I'll be in Coralville, Iowa City for Friday, Hayden Friday, Fry Fest. The day before the first Iowa game every year, they do a trade show. The walk-ons have a booth, and I'll be slinging merchandise for 10 hours all day Friday. And excited for that. Get to meet some listeners, some fans, introduce the brand to some people who maybe have never heard of us. And we've never done a trade show, so we have a little booth set up. This backdrop will go with me to Iowa City. We'll set that thing up and have some fun. That will tie up all day Friday. Literally, we're gonna leave here at like 4 in the morning, like 4:30 or 5 in the morning. Me and my brothers who are coming to help, and that will close up at 8 o'clock. And then it's a race to see if we can tear down and we should be able to tear down the booth in you know half hour, an hour, and then get home by fucking 10:30 or 11 p.m. So that's a long ass day, but that's the fun stuff that we get to do. I get to call that work, right, for Friday. It'll be a good time. No disc golf, obviously. I'd love if that was like a half day thing and we could go play the disc golf course in Iowa City. That would be fucking awesome, but not gonna happen. The following Friday, maybe Thursday or Friday, will be our first disc golf outing of the year and of the fall. And we will um probably just go over and play Centennial just to get, I haven't thrown a disc in 2 months, 3 months. So that'll be probably where we end up. And then hopefully we play well, we get a little groove, we can feel it a little bit, and then we can start exploring some of the courses around the area again for this fall and go out and get one good round in a week on that. That's where we're at. Um, this weather affecting performance thing, I want to hit on as a full episode. So again, some of this stuff that I'm experiencing as the temps cool down is really fun, exciting for me as we go into a cooler part of the year. And it's sort of interesting and a good topic to hit on, both mentally and physically, how it affects you and stuff like that. So maybe we'll talk about that next week. We will see. Until then, peace.